So, after stopping a hostile takeover, being betrayed by her best friends, and inadvertently causing a plot for multi-dimensional conquest that resulted in her friend's untimely demise, Anne's like, boy, that sure was one crazy dream, right guys? Anne, hun, that wasn't a dream. All of that actually happened. So, they regroup at Anne's place where we meet the super adorable and oddly very attractive Mr. and Mrs. Boonchoy. They have an emotionally charged reunion that lasts all of 20 seconds before they're like, go to your room, young lady. It's an Asian thing, guys, don't worry about it. Meanwhile, Andrias is trying to order a book through this app that offers a free assassination of any one enemy with your first purchase. He sends for an Uber driver to get the job done, but Anne just bribes the guy off with some food court ramen. Not surprising, by the way, as the planters are also being distracted by Earth's many vices. Polly wants to murder some babies, Hop Pop discovers Scientology, and Sprig really wants to be verbally abused by Anne's mom. Hey, on that note, I got a drinking game for y'all. Take a shot every time someone says the words low profile and proceeds to do otherwise. I swear to God, you're gonna be absolutely fried before the season is over. Back in Amphibiland, Sasha and Grimes are holing up in Hicksville because of the whole totalitarianism thing. And after infringing on Anne's private diary, Blondie is like, Grimes, dude, I just realized. Actions have, like, consequences. Really now. And other people's feelings actually, like, matter. Good, good. And Netflix is an overpriced juggernaut that undermines the animation industry, so I should really consider canceling my subscription. Okay, let's not get carried away. Back in Cali, Anne goes to the dentist and makes some offhand joke about Domino being a god that'll obviously never be addressed again. But more importantly, getting her incisors ripped out causes her to regain lucidity on the situation, and she's like, holy shit, we need to get back to Amphibia right now! And the planters are straight up like,
it's okay to take a day off to recharge every now and then.
Guys, I love you. You're basically my fam from another land, and I've really come to appreciate your idiosyncrasies and all. So it gives me no pleasure when I say, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Any other day, I'd be all up for this new age mental health day biz, but when one of your best friends is bleeding out and dying on the floor, you should probably approach the situation with a little urgency, yeah? Wait, Marcy's dying? She got impaled by a fire sword, what do you think? Well, in the season premiere, you said she was fine, so we just kind of figured humans could, like, regenerate the lost tissue or something. Why would you think that? Just because you've only met, like, 3 humans before and I never bothered to explain how our bodies work, so you never would have known what constitutes as a life-threatening injury? Oh, my bad. So they recruit this museum lady that'll do some research for them in exchange for a one-night stand with Hop Pop. Around the same time, the Thai community discovers the planters are Froglodites and are decidedly very chill about it. I don't know if that doesn't sound realistic or whatever, but as a brown dude, yeah, that kinda checks out. You know how in like Lilo and Stitch, the Hawaiians don't really give a fuck about all the aliens running around because they aren't like disrupting the peace and all? It's that kind of logic. Anyway, Miss Froglophilia shines a black light on this vase, which the kids think are some dried up ancient runes, and Hop Pop's like, yeah, those aren't runes. Oh, what are they then? I'll tell you when you're older. Meanwhile, Pauls wants to piss off the internet, so she hires the youngest, gayest, multicolored female tech YouTubers she can find to patch up her robot manservant. Around the same time, Andrias is hella mad because that Uber driver screwed up his book order, so he threatens to call the guy's manager if he doesn't get his free murdering. Hey, so like, did anyone else feel kind of bad for the Cloakbot? Like, dude legit did not ask for any of this. My man just out here trying to make an honest living by killing people, and now he's about to get Doofenshmirtz to bits if he doesn't finish his order in the next hour. Like, even for a nameless drone, that's gotta be pretty fucking terrifying. Anyway, Anne blows him up, never to be seen again. So the parents are still riding that battle high, being all, come on, Anne, let's beat the shit out of that punk-ass salamander bitch. And Anne's like, ooh, I don't think you guys are quite ready for a fight that intense. Why don't you start by beating up RuPaul over here first? After which, Sprig marathons My Hero Academia, and through his new frog waifu discovers that he's technically the MC of a reverse isekai anime, and thus strives to build up his own harem via that one distracted boyfriend meme. And Anne's like, dude, don't you think it's kinda shitty of you to be cheating on Ivy with a girl who's infinitely cuter than her? And Sprigger Parker is like, it's cool, I'll just do the bare minimum of kindness, like open the door for her or something, and she'll forget all about that. Speaking of which, I wonder how things are going back in Amphibia right now. You really think Marcy's doing alright? Oh, I'm sure she's fine. So, back in Amphibia, things are absolutely not fine. Lady Small and General Tall scheme to rescue Bruno Marcy from her 4-week-long bubble bath. They're also madly in love because I said so and you can't fucking stop me, so suck my dick. But Andrias comes in trying to be all Doctor Strange with the whole third eye thing, and Mars is like, dude, what is your beef? You are my beef, Marcy Wu, for trampling on my hopes and dreams, destroying my livelihood, completely desecrating my very reason for being! Dude, I beat you at checkers 1 time, it's not a big deal. But the big bitch ain't having it, so instead of talking things out like an adult, he straps her to a chair and forces her to watch 6 hours worth of tutorials. And the moms are like, you okay, Mars? No, I'm not okay. Everything we know has been a fabrication orchestrated by the deep state. The current world leaders are being hijacked by robotic cephalopods. Our crops have been injected with STDs in an attempt to euthanize the new master race. Water is a hoax perpetuated by the media! Back home, Hop Pop tries to rebuild his fandom. This girl of ambiguous age makes a 15-minute long video about how Amphibia and the Owl House are in the same universe, and whoo, Mrs. B is looking hella fine in that Santa Claus outfit, I must say. Speaking of Christmas, Newt Gingrich tries to kill Anne again because he's mad that Nintendo can't develop an open-world virtual reality experience in just 1 weekend. I know, right? Fucking lazy programmers. Sometime after, the Plant Choys are grabbing a quick and inexpensive lunch at Costco and figure they'd buy $9,000 worth of supplies to build the portal they need. You know, since they're already there. But RuPaul throws him in jail for having expired membership cards, and Angst is like, damn it, why can't I just outsmart a federal institution and rewrite the laws of quantum mechanics? I'm almost 14, I should know this shit by now. And the Rents are like, look kiddo, we know preservation of the universe isn't exactly a teenager's job, so if there's anything we can do as parents to ease the anxiety at all, just let us know. Oh, hold on, I just got a notification. Bitch! So, Anne uses the power of adolescent rage to rip a hole back to Amphibia, where they're like, oh, right, the end of civilization as we know it. Forgot about that. They find Sasha and her jacked arms leading the resistance, and Anne's like, girl, how did you do all this? And give me back my fucking diary. And Blondes is like, dude, you were right. All I had to do was post a cute video asking people to give me money, and the Sims flocked to me in droves. Now we've got hundreds of people ready to die for me. Isn't that great? Not what I had in mind, but I'll take it if it means I don't have to do any of the work. Then Sprig meets up with Ivy being all, okay, so I got you, the childhood friend, the delinquent, the transfer student from another world, and the mother figure. Hey, thanks for helping me organize my harem, by the way. You're a great girlfriend. Well, you did hold the door for me that one time. But yeah, I think all you need now is the feisty Emoto with the brother complex and you're all set. Meanwhile, Toadstool's bitch has to save his unit after they get captured by the enemy, and I'm like, Toady, my dude, just walk through the bars, man. You've got a good 5-6 inches of allowance there, I'm just saying. Anyway, they use Hop Pop's jizz to track down his ex-wife to this underground cavern because apparently she's hella smart, and the crew is like, you guys have been holed up in here this whole time? We kinda have to, man. We're immunocompromised as fuck, and with the pandemic going on right now, we just can't afford to take that risk. I don't know, dude. You could at least go out and get some fresh air, you know? Like, yeah, COVID is a bitch, but as long as you mask up and keep your distance, I'm sure you'll be fine. Wait, COVID? What happened to the Spanish flu? Then they meet Whoopi Goldberg's Sona, who's like, Amphibia's greatest minds built the stones in order to construct the 3G wireless network of Gaslight, Gatekeep, and Girl Boss that would eventually destroy whatever this was in the title card this whole time. After all that, the squad needs to draft in some new recruits, so they decide to bring back Toadette, Newt Robin Hood, a piece of shiitake, and Dominoes. Almost like those filler episodes that I failed to mention in my past videos were actually of significance. Huh. Funny how that works. We also learned more about the circumstances regarding Andrias' tragic backstory. Hello, Marcy likes ube, my girl! sorry, I just got a little distracted there for a sec. Anyway, so back in the day, little Andy was like, Dad, I don't care that the proletariat are disrupting the job market. I just want to play catch with my friends. And his pops is like, son, it's time we open your eyes to the truth. A few days later, Andy's friends get a vision from the box, and they're like, dude, your dad's off his rocker and wants to fuck over other countries. We gotta put him down. Okay, but like, is slavery really such a bad thing though? Like, there's two sides to every story, I'm just saying. Back in the present, everyone's getting ready to throw hands at the king, where we also learn that Marsh tried to get her gals into the Lord of the Rings fandom, and this is the one time I can't relate to my daughter. Hey, Andrias, you're kinda missing your targets there, dude. Like, waving your sword around like a flag ain't gonna do shit. Just, FYI. Anyway, the gang storm the tower, but they all get tentacled by Mar's new online handle. Let's call it the core to ring. No? Okay, no. She tries to spill Anne's guts, but the latter is like, hey, so you know everything, right? We are a collective intelligence capable of reasoning far beyond any plane of reality. There is nothing that which we do not know. Okay, well, I was just wondering. How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? Be right back. So the mainstays get chained up, but Frobo breaks through the single-factor authentication and they all land in the one building in Cali that happens to have a rooftop pool. They regroup with Anne's folks and RuPaul, who are fighting Andrias' only 2 herons using Mr. B's VR suits, and Hot Pockets is like, oh my god, kids, do you know what this means? Our character arcs have finally come full circle? And it only took 3 seasons. So they hash out a plan at the school where the Boon Choi Planter Party take on the secondary boss fights while Sasha Simps try to deactivate Darcy's frog chain account. Speaking of whom, Marcy's common sense is chatting up Andy's pops, who's like, welcome to the metaverse. The multiverse? No! God, kids these days. The metaverse. It's like Facebook but for Gen Zers. Finally! So the planters shake their asses at the herons, causing them to kill themselves, while Sasha and Grimes try to appeal to Dardar's logical side, being all, dude, for the last time, the US government is not running a secret pizza trafficking ring. It's just a bad metaphor to avoid referencing a real conspiracy. And Darcy is like, 182! You hear that, Boon Choi? 182 licks! Meanwhile, Andrias risks his $10 million full-scale invasion that he's planned for centuries over a quick 5-minute game against Anne, and she's like, alright bitch, what are we playing? I challenge you to the most complex, most adrenaline-building social deduction game ever to be conceived by the greatest minds in the world. Anyway, he tries to call her a cheat because he's a sore-ass loser, but then Spriggo's like, dude, wait, I totally got a letter from your ex right here. Whoa, no shit? Yeah, check it out. Andrias, babe, if you ever decide to come out of your basement, I leave you with these choice words. 4 ounces of mint chocolate chips, 2 large eggs, 1 cup of almond milk, half a cup of cannabis? What the fuck is this? Oh my god, it's the greatest edibles recipe in the multiverse! Leaf said she'd never tell me as long as I lived! I mean, they're just brownies, aren't they? You don't understand! Leaf's brownies can only be made with the purest, most refined strand of marijuana that only she was able to cultivate. Her farm's legacy was known all throughout the cosmos! And Anne's like, yo, planners, you guys have been running a pot farm this whole time? Well, yeah, didn't you watch the steakhouse episode? I kinda skipped over it because I thought it was filler. Anyway, Grime loses an arm, but somehow that doesn't look half as gruesome as Sasha slashed the back. Jesus, look at that shit! But then she realizes that to bring her girl back, she's going to have to trigger the internet, and she's like, Marcy, I have something to confess. Yes? The truth is, I'm straight. Also, I only see Anne as a friend. So the mods finally banned Darcy's account, the girls are reunited, and Mars is like, man, I'm sorry I made you both watch Lord of the Rings. I wouldn't blame you if you hated me forever and didn't want to be best friends anymore. And Anne's like, dude, who cares if we didn't like the movie? We just wanted to spend time with you. Wait, you're saying you liked me for my personality and not because we have interests that perfectly align? Yeah. Look, obviously we're all a little too fucked up to be best friends forever or whatever, but that doesn't mean we can't still be friends and enjoy each other's company. Maybe we can just, I don't know, keep each other at a healthy distance or something. Sounds fake, but okay. So the gals are alright, the world is saved, and just when they're about to crack open Olivia's juice collection, the moon turns out to be an artificial creation hellbent on annihilating the planet. And they're all like, oh shit, he was right about this one? Anyway, Valeriana, hey, what's up, girl? Comes in with some swanky-ass magical girl outfits, being all, aight bitches, it's time to fulfill the prophecy and assume your roles of gaslight, gatekeep, and girl boss and save the universe. Hold up, I'm not the girl boss? So the Powerpuff Girls start fucking up the moon, but of course they just don't have quite enough power to stop it, and Anne's like, alright girls, looks like I'm gonna have to do the hardest thing. Dude, no, you can't. It'll kill you from the inside! I'm sorry. Just tell my mom, dad, and the planners I love them. Sprig, of course, tries to talk her down, being all, Anne, stop! You're my bro, man! I don't care about having a harem anymore! I realize that having one great platonic friend is more important than a dozen meaningless waifus! And she's like, poggers. Then she faces down the core and prepares to do the hardest thing. Hey dude, you seem like a nice guy that no girl's ever given a chance before, so what do you say? You wanna go out with me? So Anne fucks the moon in more ways than one, saves the internet, but ends up becoming an empty husk of her old self. And damn dude, I cannot believe Disney killed off the main girl like that. Except no, because then the show decides to go full anime by having Anne talk to an iMac G3 like some Haruhi Suzumiya shit that also happens to be Domino, that also happens to be God of the Multiverse. I mean, clearly. So, Godcat offers to make a contract with her to watch over the world, and hold up, y'all. This scenario seems very familiar. Oh god, Anne, no, don't you fucking dare!
I'm gonna have to pass.
Oh, thank God. So she's like, nah. And he's like, what? And she's like, I'm 13. And he's like, yeah. And sends her back home. And the girls are like, you okay, Anne? You freaking died on us. And she's like, oh, I'm not actually Anne. I'm actually a very convincing clone that God made for me because there's this movie I want to catch next weekend. So, the time has finally come for the gals to hit the road, and I'm sure y'all are expecting me to be all sarcastic and insincere in the name of comedy or whatever, and believe me, I tried, but I just couldn't do it, man. Look, I'm not typically an emotional guy, alright? In my 28 years of living, I have only ever cried twice while watching something. The first was Assassination Classroom. That damn roll call scene, man. And now, the series finale of Amphibia. I never thought this show could do it, but boy howdy, did it do it. Marcy says goodbye to her newt moms, Sasha says goodbye to her toad dad, and Anne says goodbye to her frog grandpa, sister, and brother. Some indeterminate time later, Thanos opens a pot farm, Polly grows 6 inches while Sprig is still short as hell. Eulivia is fucking canon! And by some biological travesty, Bessie and Joe have a litter of snurds. 1 decade later, and the gal pals are doing alright. Anne finds work at an amphibian exhibit to fill the gaping void in her heart, Sasha puts her narcissism to good use and becomes a shrink, and Marcy, my sweet, precious daughter, is a successful webcomic artist. I am so proud of her. But yeah, as expected, saving the multiverse can't resolve innate compatibility issues, so the girls naturally drifted apart after high school. But equally as expected, they're able to reconnect and pick up where they left off years later like it's no big deal. Because no matter how far apart you are or how much time has passed, all you need to sustain a true lifelong friendship is just a little bit of effort. Just kidding, guys, they have Zoom. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I freaking love Amphibia. If you want to see more content like this, please support my channel in any which way you can. You can subscribe and like this video, leave a comment, and share with your friends. And you can also become a patron and support my channel that way. Until then, stay tuned.